Welcome to my game through the Delares game. Expect a lot of bloopers because I'm kind of really unprepped for it. And well, there is that. So I hope you'll enjoy the video and actually showing through what the game actually has to offer, at least in the current build, which is 1.92. It says it's a demo version, but actually it's a pre-release alpha, because it doesn't limit you anywhere. Usually demo versions got some kind of a limit on what you can do or you cannot do. This is a full-out game. It says it's a demo as a demonstrative version, which is true. It's got a lot of things that still need to be implemented regarding the game itself, just to give you an extra progress and stuff. But it is a good look through what you can expect from further releases in the future. Currently, game is available on a Kickstarter, which I did include in the description of the video, and I also included the link to Steam, so you can go and find the game on the Steam itself, where you can actually download this actual version of the game, which is a demo still. Once you open it up, be sure to go to Discord, press on the Discord, and see how our community is giving a good feedback regarding the game. I think I'm gonna talk about it later throughout the video, so I'm not gonna waste any more of your time and our time talking about it in the menu. So let's head and start a new game. For my new game rate, just before we start, there's a option in settings which allows you, if you scroll down, to start with a tutorial. There are two types of tutorial. One of them which will show you how to move, which is, I'm considering, should we go through it with it? Right, we're gonna go with the tutorial, and I'm gonna put down in the description where the tutorial ended, so you can skip through it if you're not interested in looking through this first tutorial. But it actually shows you how to move around and do certain stuff, which is all neat. The game itself has got a lot of hints included, which explains you how to do a couple things. They're really well made and easy to follow. So without making it more complex, let's head to the game. Now, when you press a new game, you got your character, which you can give a name to, name your faction, and then give something to the world seed. I've tested this seed before and it got a couple extra biomes which I would like to have in my world seed, so I'm actually gonna leave this as it is. Whenever you create a character, you can save it in one of those 3 spots or load it up. It's like it says over here, left mouse button to load the saved option, and right mouse button to save it at one of the remaining ones. So like I just removed the last one by overwriting it. But let's say I'm gonna change the name from Mike. To Gabriel, and I'm gonna randomize him and right click there. It's just gonna save him up there. I'm not gonna be talking the same time as I write because I got pushed to talk and that's gonna ruin it. But I'm not gonna be doing much of writing as well, it's just this step. Obviously you can randomize everything you want, all of those options, or you can manually choose what you actually like, and you got a couple different options included in this game. Well, you can dress a skin color, choose the color of your top shirt, and I'll change your hairstyle and I'll choose the color of it, and add up some kind of a beard, which you can also change the color to whatever you like. So I'm gonna go with that one for some reason. I'd rather to have it that way. And as a color, let's go with this one. I don't want to spend too much time adjusting my character looks, because some of it is covered by the armor in the game, and you might just see the eyes, or might not even see the eyes, depending on the armor you're using. Not too fussy about it. Gabriel, actually, why not? Looks like I don't want to get religious here, so I'm just gonna go with that. And another thing is start with tutorial, so I can click that in. Like I said, I'm gonna actually use that, and we're gonna start with a tutorial, which you can skip through the video. Obviously, I will mark in the description where the tutorial ends, and you can just skip it to that part. So here we are, that's a tutorial map. If you go to a map, you can see there's only one chunk. In your world generated, it will be having a much bigger playground to play. Sorry. So in the tutorial, you get 2 trolleys, a wolf animal, a slime animal, and iron golems. Now, with the creatures you got tamed before throughout the game, you'll see the little icon down there. If you move mouse over, it should tell you what it does as well. So like wolf enchants the attack and protection of allied creatures within the radius of itself. Now to activate it, there are 2 ways. Either you right click on a beast and you activate it down here, or you hold Q and press on a beast. Let's say, sorry, I just told him to go there. So Q and click on it and activate it. I'm gonna activate it differently on using a slime and his own skill. Those skills keep staying activated, they don't have actual cooldown yet. Maybe that's good, because it lasts 2 seconds. I think it's gonna last 2 seconds till you walk out of it. There you go, it's gone off, and it clicks in once again once we're back. So they're active while you're within the circle area. The skills are activated, but once you head out of the circle, the cooldown starts to become. So that's at least one thing we could have explained. Now, you got a couple movements how to walk around. So if you hold shift, you will make it run. Oh, and I just collected that. Oh, perhaps it disappeared because I used the command. So shift and movement makes you run. Running depletes your stamina, so watch out for that. You replenish quite quickly once you stand and let your character rest. Normally walking, it doesn't consume stamina. Actually, let's see if we run and we keep walking, would that replenish stamina as well? Yes, it does. So you can run your journey, you deplete the stamina, you continue walking, but you're resting then. One of the things you gotta know is if you press tab and get to your inventory, you got a skill set as well. In the skill set, you can see there's a stamina down here. And you can upgrade it with upgrade points, which you get for leveling up your character. So that's the whole pretty much idea about it. Stamina gets consumed while doing different tasks which require the stamina, like running or using tools such as sword or pickaxe or axe to cut down the trees or mine the resources. It does replenish reasonable fast. If you want your stamina to replenish fast, you would have to eat some food, such as bread or apples or all this kind of nutrition, if we could call it that way. So satiety, which I will refer to that as a hunger. It's much more easy for me to speak. So yeah, you eat food and that replenishes your hunger. Once you got reasonably full, you get a buff, which allows you actually to get your energy accelerated, but it also improves the way your HP gets. Let's say you heal up after taking damage. I'm not gonna go into lava to show you because that's most likely will kill me. At least from previous experience within the games, whenever I entered the lava, I had never managed to make it out alive. So I'm not gonna attempt doing that. I was tempted to put the intro guy into the lava before, because you can push him around at that moment. And I did push him into the lava, nothing happened, which is... Well, he did caught on fire, but he hadn't died, which is good, because it allows you to complete the quest line, which is required for you to progress, unless you're not interested in this little tutorial, which you can skip from the main menu. Just don't click for the tutorial buttons in the settings. Right, what does this tutorial actually requires you to do? Well, it shows you how to walk around. It shows you how to quick command quick creatures, where you got three group settings, and you can assign each of the creature into the certain group by just moving your mouse over and changing the group. You can right click on it and change the group it's assigned to as well. You can rename the creatures if you want to. So let's call them Big Cat. It's not a big cat, but just example. Don't get too angry. So right. So as you can see, the name got changed. Uploaded on the top. Uploaded on the board. Over the character. If I go into inventory, it should call Big Cat as well. We know it's a wolf, but that's why you decided to call him. You can call him whatever you want, wherever you please. You can rename them as well, as many times as you want. It might be worth to actually name a couple things, like let's say wooden cart. It is a wooden cart, but when you go into inventory and go to an upgrade option, you can actually keep upgrading it. It will change into the steel cart later on, for example. So it might be worth, after you will see that it is a steel cart, it might be worth upgrading that yourself. Or let's say you might want to say what you intend to keep in this trolley. Now, when it comes to the metal ones, such as this one, you gotta be a bit more careful, because in the current version they literally soak up anything that's on the ground, and they just collect it. Like the wooden one, if let's say we drag it a bit further out and leave it there, if I'm gonna take anything out of it and just drop it in front of it, that's, as you can see, it goes to that one. This trolley doesn't pick up anything. And to be honest, I'm actually gonna move everything out of that into the other trolley. I don't intend to use this trolley at the moment. A later tutorial will require me to get into one of those trolleys, fetch something, and that's just gonna make it easy because I don't have to look through two trolleys. I know this one is empty, and at the moment I do not need it. So let me drag it out a bit further out. Let's say that's far enough. And now let's actually head to the tutorial, because we're not gonna finish it if we don't start. The tab is in inventory, like it says over here. The Q is used for using quick command to the creatures. Quick commands such as Q and press on a creature that has that mark, which means it's got special skill set, will activate it or deactivate it. If you got different group, it will not work for the creature that's in a different group. Let's say I'm attempting to tell second group to do something, and that wolf is in the first group. If I switch it to a second group, then I can activate it and deactivate it. But in that way, as slime is in the first group and I'm telling second group what to do, I cannot actually activate or deactivate the slime. However, I can tell the second group to do whatever else I want like it to do. Let's say I want wolf to drag the trolley, and that's what I'm gonna do. Certain creatures will not be able to drag the trolleys. They're not strong enough, while others they will just get on with it. So let's say as wolf can drag the trolley, and I'll attempt to stop dragging the trolley. Let's go over here. I'm gonna temporarily put the slime to group 3 so I don't have to drag him with me, and I can quick command it that way. I'm gonna ask the slime to drag the trolley, and he actually can drag the trolley. I thought he can't, so that's a new thing for me to remember. Another thing, a way of moving your groups around is pretty much clicking on the icon of the one you wanna move around, and just you can use it that way to move them left and right. Now, regarding the gathering resources, which we'll reach through the stage, but I'll tell it anyway. Generally golems starting from iron because if we go into evolutions, we've got different types of a golem. There's a stone golem, which is a very basic. There's a more basic one, which is a wood golem, I think it's called, or something else, I can't remember. We'll reach to that stage as well. Stone golem, gold golem, iron golem, and volcanic golem can definitely gather resources for you. I'm not sure about the tungsten because I never had it, and there's another one which I don't know because I hadn't managed to get my hands on it yet, but I will eventually. So let's not make it last any longer. I'm gonna put all the animals, actually I'm gonna set buffers into the second group and activate the buffs like that. Come over here. Iron golems I'm gonna leave as the first one because they collect stuff. I'm gonna actually reassign the golem to drag the trolley instead. Sorry, slime, can you let go of it please? Thank you. Because whenever they're gonna fetch something, I want the trolley to pack it up straight away. So let's say I'm gonna send them to mine this, the trolley will collect it right away. Now, as you can notice, this one is digging, that one's doing nothing, it's standing too far. If you come over and push it forward, it will start mining as well. It is one of the issues we got within the game, but that will be fixed in the future releases. So right, they mined what I asked them to. Now everything they mined went to the trolley. And as you can see, there's some rock, there's some tin ore, and something I'm not gonna attempt to read. I'm fine with that. Now let's go with a question mark. Whenever you got like some sort of a quest, it will show on your map where to go to find this quest. It will just keep being on your screen all the time until you go actually there and start or finish the quest. It might get a bit annoying. Perhaps you can switch it off, but I don't know how to do it yet. I never looked into it, I didn't have the need. Now, right, greeting heroes, you have reached the goal of your difficult journey here. I'm not gonna actually read it out loud. If you would like to read it, you can pause the video. I'll attempt to leave you a little bit of a gap before I spam the next button, so you can actually pause the video. And the reason I'm not gonna read is because simply I've been through this tutorial a couple times and roughly I know what to expect. And to be honest, the quests are actually showing you what to do too. So let's gather obsidian. The way to gather obsidian is to actually find obsidian. Now, spyglass allows us to see what the things are called and what kind of resources they give. So let's say those are stones, those are burnt trees, bigger burnt tree, well, that's obsidian. So it would be logical to send my mining team to gather obsidian if I want obsidian. And this time they had no issues with attacking it both, which is great, it makes it go faster. Now they collected a bit, I don't think that's enough, so let's find another obsidian, which is down over there. And it will take them a while. Usually I could pickaxe it myself, but at the moment, as you can see, I'm only having a sword and a weapon, which is fair play because the character was prepped for fighting, not mining. And the idea is also to show you how to move your creatures around. Right, so we got a couple more obsidian. Let's see the inventory. Right, 18, we need 12. Now, the quest hadn't registered us picking it up into the trolley because it expects us to have it in our inventory. So if we just lift it up, you see it got completed. I can now put it back in the trolley without any issues. Now the fire berries. Let's see. Fire berries were a little plant. Alright, I think you're a little bit too late with that hint, because I'm not doing the things in the right order. But like I said, the game allows you to see a couple hints, and it actually will explain you things very nicely, how how to do it, what to do, and just pretty much what I'm doing now. So I'm not gonna be, I will be opening those hints just to show you what they look like, but I won't be really or maybe I'll be talking about them a bit more. Now obsidian we need fire berries. I know for a fact those are the fire berries, but let's just go with spyglass and see what the game calls it. Game calls it a plant. Now if I right click it, I know it will give me a fire berry. So perhaps that's a hint for you if you were to get stuck on this tutorial. There's a couple fire berries here, there's one more out there. Now with collecting fire berries you might want to be a bit careful when there are creatures around, because those creatures such as turtles, which are not visible yet, there you are. Those turtles, they go really aggressive if you pick one of those plants. See? It is actually chasing after me. So I'm gonna actually kind of attempt to escape. If it doesn't work, that's fine, because next step of the tutorial is to actually kill those beasts. And as you can see there, he couldn't wait any longer, he just had to attack my creatures. So I'm gonna talk to Mr. Question Mark. And now it requires us turtle shells. That's what the animals are fighting now. So as you can see, we already have one of two. So our creatures succeeded in defeating the beast. And I'm just gonna try to fight it off myself this time. So mic off for a moment. Actually, I'm gonna be cheeky and I'm gonna use a machine gun. There we go. And that's as easy as that. I could have kept smashing him with a sword, I just wanted to speed it up. I don't think it actually was faster. Well, whenever you kill the creature, it will leave the corpse. And silly enough, you can actually leave things inside that corpse. As it turns out, they become a storage. I think that's a temporary demo feature, which might change in the future. Currently, if one of your pets dies, it's gonna meet exact same end. It's just gonna be a corpse, and you have a cross out on the name that it actually to show you that it died. Now, in a future releases, developer plans to implement a way of recovering your pets, so you can heal them back up to back to life, bring them back to life. Well, at the moment there's no way, so it might be worth to just get rid of the corpse, which you do by attacking it. As you can see, I got stuff which I thrown into its inventory, plus a bit of a drop which dropped by itself. Now I'm gonna throw that stuff into the trolley, because wherever's in the trolley, it doesn't slow me down. I got limited weight capacity, while the trolley's got a much bigger capacity, and I don't have to worry about putting too much inside the trolley. Well, after I have to worry about what do I carry on myself. So let's head back to the Mr. Question Mark and see what he's gonna say. Regarding those things, if you want them to disappear, you have to walk over them, and they'll be gone. Right, so we got the shell. It will ask us to proceed with evolution of one of the columns we choose to evolve. So let's see, that's the one that's got the trolley. I want to evolve that one. So evolution, organic column, and I will start evolving. Now another thing you gotta know is whenever you evolve the creature, if it drags the trolley, it most likely will stop dragging the trolley, because it's like doing a tiny bit of a respawn of the creature, and it doesn't attach it to the trolley anymore. So like volcanic column now evolved, if I'm telling him to go, you see that trolley stays. So I actually lost an interest in dragging that trolley. So I'm gonna call him back in and tell him to drag the trolley again. Now, whenever you evolve a creature, you might get some. I think you will get a couple levels up, and that will equal you get a bit of upgrade points. What you want to focus is up to you completely. In my case, I highly recommend getting a health up to 1000. It lets the creature stay alive much longer. Move speed about 2 should be about alright, because it's same-ish speed to yours, so they'll be able to follow you up. So in that case, I'm happy with sanity. Actually, that's quite a big sanity, so I'm definitely not gonna improve that. Stamina seems to be alright. I'm not sure how much stamina they're using, but I'm more than happy to invest all of those points into the attack to increase the output of the damage it can deal. So I'm gonna actually throw all of that in there. Regarding the other golem, let's see what he's got. So he's got over 1000 HP, so I'm happy to throw it into the attack as well. Let's see the wolf. The wolf's got 240 HP. You see, some creatures got much less HP than the other creatures, and if they got not enough HP, in my opinion, I just throw everything into HP, because I rather them to be alive rather than be fast or have a bit of attack. I can use that creature to kill, because it's got this. This is actually kind of OP. If I tell that to mine, it's just gonna shoot a fireball, and you see 3000 damage. That's a bit OP. But if I tell Iron Golem to mine exact similar kind of a rock, it'll take it forever. No, it won't take it that much because it's Iron Golem. I think that one deals more damage than the Stone Golem. But if we have a look, 1600 HP. Now if we find another one, let's say that one, 1600 HP, you've seen the Volcanic Golem, they just deal massive damage. It wasn't 3000 this time, but it was still way over itself to mine it. So I think that's our miner at the moment. That one, not so much anymore. So whenever I get the chance to upgrade the golems into this volcanic form, I'll definitely go for it, because it's a massive OP thing and makes the game unfortunately too easy. But that's something to keep an eye on. Well, we've upgraded those. Now we want all the creatures to be in one group, because I don't want them to fall around, and I want them to follow me, and I want to be able to tell them at the same point. Now regarding the creatures themselves, all the trolleys, they have to be manually dragged around, so that it doesn't matter what the group they are, they won't be going anywhere without something dragging them around. They will just stay where they are, unless something attacks it and destroys it. Yes, the trolleys can be destroyed, not by you, but by some other creature. Let's say we push it into lava, and that should pretty much obliterate it. I hadn't done that yet, but I'm assuming that's gonna be the case. So because we don't need this trolley, hopefully it's not gonna ruin the tutorial, because tutorial asked me to bring out from this trolley after we moved everything to the other trolley, so that should be just about right. Now I'm afraid to push it further down, because I might end up going into the lava and burning myself. So I'm gonna push this NPC around there first, and then make this NPC push the trolley into the lava. Let's see if that's gonna work. So you can see he's getting on fire. Well, I would have been getting on fire. The wooden trolley seems fine. Now I know the iron golem's got enough HP to pull it out, so let's tell him to lift. He's not interested in going to lava. Don't blame him. Come around a bit. Let's see if he's gonna still attempt it. No, we're gonna kill this. Actually, alright, there wasn't that much HP. Let's try again. There we go. And he's losing HP. He's got a good health regeneration, so that's okay. He's not gonna die. But it lasts a bit. Oh right, he's got good health regen because slime is healing. That's why. Right, I'm gonna leave as it is. I don't know why we actually got experience point for. Did we complete some quest? Or did we destroy something? Let's see. Destroy that. Yes, we got experience from destroying stuff. So that's how we get level up. Okay, so let's see what he wants us to do next. Golem evolved. Right, he wants us to collect magmatic fragments. Now this golem will create them some. If we go into the inventory. Right, I forgot. I had an item in here that would feed those creatures. Now the thing is, whenever you throw things into those metal trolleys, it allows the creatures to eat the food out of it. So let's say if wolf were to get hungry, see he just takes more food, and where it takes the food from is the inventory here, 25. You have a look. Take out from here, he grabs another 2, so it will be 23 now. See, that's what they all do. So now Iron Golem pinched some food and he already ate it, so we don't have it. And Volcanic Golem pinched food and he ate it as well. Sanity is just about acceptable. The problem is whatever he produces. So let's say you tell him to poop by actually creating an item. He will actually eat that item. Because whatever he produces is actually on his list of food. As you can see, resources. So we need to feed an obsidian to make sure he's fully fed before we can actually get things out of him. Oh, and that's another thing. For some reason the obsidian actually, destroying obsidian gave us a volcanic shard. Volcanic shard? Yeah. So that's the thing we required. Now we need 5,000 gold, and as you can see it shows us the wooden card. That's where they were originally, but we moved them over here. So we're gonna take it from the other place. Now creating magmatic stone in a furnace. As you can see the mark, explanation mark, tells us to go over here. That's where we're gonna head. It's only one item to create, so that's active thing. Let's press move items, and that's gonna transfer that stuff inside the input. Only the amount is required to actually create the item. Now, once this item is created, we're gonna land in an output, we're gonna transfer it over, and the game will require us to activate the altar of this planet 4 to make it spawn, and that's what the altar looks like. Now, once you get it, you right click on this pedestal of summon, you move that thing in there, this thing, not that thing, I intentionally moved it there, and that will allow the planet 4 to spawn, and that will be defeating it or dying to it is the end of a tutorial. I hadn't managed to die to it yet, and to be honest I don't have any intention of changing that to happen. Let's see, level 50. Let's see what our inventory can say about it. So it does only say how much HP it has. It's got quite plenty of HP. And a lot of stamina, a bit of movement, a bit of a storage. Nothing else so specific. I know the creatures that are more to actually keep them in, unless it's doing some kind of interesting damage. He definitely spams those lava, which do deal extra fire damage. They actually setting you out on fire. If I walk on it, I'll catch fire and burn it. Thankfully, slime is healing me up, so I'll be fine. And there it is. Our creature has defeated. Now that ends the first tutorial. That's it. Put down data off into the reward regeneration. Word generation. So this is a word with gen code test123, and if we press M, we can see the word has gotten much bigger than a tutorial. We got a one initial village, and usually one of the snow biome villages somewhere available around, that's the first tutorial quest you got to. It asks you to move certain items from village A to village B, then collect the payment for it, and then bring it back. Throughout this tutorial, which you start by talking to Figures, you'll get free, and I don't mean free as free of charge, I mean free of charge as well, but free as a number. You will get free tamed creatures for yourself. First one is a standard dirt golem. That's the first golem. I forgot the name in a tutorial about, but that's the first golem you can have, and it's a very cheap. It just requires you one stone. I don't remember what's it called. There we go, living stone. So you require one living stone and I think 5 to 10 poop to create it, and you go to the clay, right click on it, and you have an option to create a golem. You can go with a tutorial or you can skip it, that's completely up to you. I will actually go through the tutorial. It gives you a bit of a cache and stuff. It's like a first mission, and it gives you a couple creatures too. After I rather start off with different creatures, and you cannot really choose. But when you start talking to him, you can make a choice. Whenever you skip tutorial, press next, and you carry on with the tutorial. One other thing you need to be aware of, in going through the tutorial, it makes one thing that it's irreversible change to the starting village, and that's those two golems. As you can see, they're just next to each other. They will fight each other off, and they will kill each other off themselves. That's what happens when you go with a tutorial. If you don't go with a tutorial, they will stay alive for the rest of your gameplay, most likely. Unless they fight over whenever you throw the hay in there, which I haven't tried yet, but might be worth trying. Now, this information on the bottom tells me I have insane level up points, and because my HP is reasonably low, I want to improve that, and that would be my first step. Now, normally in games like that, what would you look for the loot? Where would you look for the loot, which you could technically sell somewhere? Well, obviously crates. So let's start with that, and let's see if there is any more crates around. So there we go, there's another crate there, that's empty, unfortunate. There's a trolley, which has got a little bit in there. And let's see, stone planks. Now, stone items, they do have a best defense factor as far as I've seen the armor, but they're reasonably heavy on a weight. So that lowers the amount of things we can actually carry because it takes up a lot of space. Now with items you can pretty much see through every crate you want, and I think that's like, I opened that one up and I think every other game will have just this one, something in that one, and the remaining of them will be empty. Let's see the other ones. Now that's all empty. That one is also empty. That's one more barrel over here, and it's empty, and there's one more down there. Let's have a peek through that. It's empty as well. Now we got a couple more over here, and that's actually got a couple stuff in it, but the reason I'm not going to collect any of these is because that's for the tutorial quest, and I don't know if that's gonna affect it at all. Oh, that's a really nice found. I didn't know there are 3 traps, and to be honest, if you got carrot, you can fetch the rabbit and tame the rabbit for yourself. The rabbit is just more like an actual pet. It does not do any damage, and it's very easy to die. And that's basically it. It will give you a food once it's dead. I'm not sure if it actually drops any resources you can make a use of. So let's see, we collected some stuff. I'm gonna try to sell it first. And hopefully we're gonna get a bit of money out of it. As you can see, that's the price they want us to pay when we buy it. That's the price we're gonna get for selling the item. So selling those 2 items is really not worth it. As a difference in the price is massive, but I'm never gonna make use of it, so I'm more than happy to sell it. I have stone pants, I wear them, but I'm actually gonna sell them as well. Because I'm not gonna make use of them either. And well, if I die, that's not a permadeath game, so you can respawn after your dead body will stay in the world. You will lose everything that was on your inventory, will stay within the dead body, but you can then go back to it wherever it died and loot everything that was on it back to your inventory. So that's not too bad. The problem happens when the other creatures actually attack the body and destroy it, and then all the loot just get thrown out of it. I'm not sure how long that will stay in a world then. Let's say you got something, you picked up, you throw it out. Now let's see where else can we fetch the items from for sales. Nothing here, nothing here. Now we're gonna do something taboo, which is quite common for the games, and go on a graveyard, because those creatures that pass out, they won't be able to use anything that's in a grave. So we're gonna be a terrible, very terrible and apathetic creatures that's gonna looting. Now, I don't need pistol and I don't need ammo. I'm not gonna be using it. You might want to have it, so if you need it, that's where you can find it, in the first village. We're not gonna be using it, so let's see if we can sell it. Now, I think it's not having enough cash to let us sell it, and that's the issue about it. So you can see we can only sell 25 while we got 52, because that's how much vendor has got the money to pay for the item we want to sell. So we can actually gain for a little bit more. The price for the Magnum is exactly the same. We got 2,000, so we're not gonna sell. Actually, we're gonna sell the ammo, but we're gonna buy something in replacement. And what I would like to have is a decent axe, or perhaps a sword. Now, let's see, katana. Never used katana in this game. Maybe worth giving it a shot. Usually I use this large steel sword, which has a big amount of DPS, and no other sword actually matches, and it's quite cheap. So I'm gonna go with that. And now let's see. Let's see. We can look for it ourselves, so we can just type it what we want and we'll filter out in the store. So I'm looking for an axe, and let's see, without further ado, I know for a fact that's the best axe they have. Never used that one. I don't think you can use it to actually cut the trees down, but I'm not having much of money, as you can see, so I'm gonna... Oh, I can't really buy it. I thought we can trade the things out. So, maybe the total value is not allowing us to buy, so I'm not gonna have the axe. I'm just gonna sell the ammo and buy the sword, and leave it at that. Now, the food vendor. I think what you would get through the tutorial is this. and you will get 20 of them. So let's try to see if we can buy 20 of those. Yes, we can afford it, so we're gonna buy it. There it is. And I'm gonna attempt act like in a tutorial, and I'm gonna actually go and throw those things into that crate and see if those golems will fight for each other death. No, slime just fed it itself. And looks like gold ore. Or perhaps they fed themselves as well. Let's see, what do they eat? No, they don't feed on that, so let's see, can we right click? No, we can't right click. I wanted to see their inventory. That seems like slime and anteater. There we go, anteater ate it. Yes, he can eat it and he can eat it. So they too ate it and they create some resources that he's trying to send it through, but it just lands outside because a fence is preventing it from going into that. And that's all there is. So we're gonna leave it in there. I'm gonna actually start the tutorial now without goofing around anymore. And you're gonna see that you're actually gonna kill those golems. See, so your access gives us these items we just thrown in to fed the slime, which we just did ourselves. Well, that was outside of the tutorial, now it's a part of the tutorial. As you can see, we get over here, and those creatures fight each other off, and they killed each other off as well, which is really not well for the community that's living in here, because those two creatures were generating iron ore and gold ore, and now they don't generate anything. Oh, we could have loot it, but I'm not interested at the moment. I'm more interested in getting rid of the armor and a pistol. Since we got a sword, I'm gonna move it into the place where I usually use it. I'm gonna move the pistol and the armor outside. I'll remember about them, but I don't need them now. Now our tutorial guy, as you can see, the explanation mark went up there. He actually ran out there. In the meantime, so we're gonna head to him and have a talk to him. And see what he's gonna say. Well, we're gonna report the problems with the golems to him. He asked if we fed the slime. We fed the slime, but there were problems with the golems. So obviously he's not satisfied with it. He explains that those two golems were keeping the village alive. Obviously, when it comes to trade, when you got like creatures like those two, and they're making you resources which you can sell later on trade, that generates an income. So yes, I would admit that those two creatures could have kept the village alive and financially, and perhaps they could defend it as well a little bit. I'm not so sure because they looked like they were kept as pets more than as a this defensive features. So we're gonna carry on with the quest. We got level up. I'm gonna invest all my skills, oh, 3 upgrade points into health until I reach a decent amount. So he asked us to loot the broken chart, which we could have looted before, but I didn't want to because of this quest asking us to do so, and I don't know if that complicates things. Now, you got a hint that tells you about learning about the objects which we've been using Spyglass to use. And you will be having that hint as well when you start the game, so I'm not gonna go for it. But it just tells you how to use the spyglass, which we already had been doing. So now create a slingshot. Now with a slingshot, to fire it actually, you will require rocks, which is a bit of I think it's a bit not a good thing that we do not get any rocks with a slingshot. I mean, obviously you can't get rocks by creating a slingshot yourself, but like you see 0 in armor, pistol's got 27. The reason why that's a 0 is because you don't have rocks. Grocery shop, that should not be here. It should be over here. Marble. I don't want marble, I want actual rock. Do you have rock? Nope. It's livingstone, that's a different thing. So we'll have to mine it later. So now we have created the slingshot. Now it will ask us to get an axe and a pickaxe. So let's create those two. We've been given resources for it, so let's just go and make it. Oops, not there. Over here. Now we get a bit more than we required the resources, and there is a little reason behind. We will need some of those resources later on, but at the moment I don't need, definitely not an iron bar, definitely not the ladder. I will need sticks later on, so I'm gonna leave them in my inventory. And again, questline asks us to talk to figures again, so let's head there. Yes, it's true, we got some basic equipment and a sword we bought. Stone. Take this stone, collect some things. This is my farm. Wait, that's a living stone. So you will tell us now how to create the golem itself. So, like I said before, you will need like a living stone and a couple of poop. It's not a best resource. And I think you can hear in the background, I got a very strange visitor on my street, which is an ice cream van. I'm sorry for that. Could do nothing about it, and I admit I did not expect that to happen. Right, we collected the poop, and we collected the living stone, and now we're gonna create the golem. So right click on that, you can collect the pile, and that's not gonna create a golem or create a golem. Now to create a golem, you do need a living stone and you do need some poop to use, which will disappear after that's been completed. So you got 1 living stone and 5 poop. Now that's a dead golem for you. You can rename it if you want. I'm happy with it to stay with the name it has. And now I'm gonna sell the remaining. Oh no, actually I'm gonna feed it. It's in inventory. They do actually feed off. There. If you have a look at the spyglass, you see food is listed there. So I'm not gonna actually sell it. I'm just gonna drop it in its inventory and let it eat. Let it eat a full, just like everyone said. Now. Alright, collect wood to create a cart. So it's actually sending us for a journey to gather some wood. Now, that's a strange thing. First time I see Savannah so high up. But we got a couple interesting biomes in this test biome. In this test world, which is this biome, that biome, and that biome. Sorry. Japan biome. Lavender biome and a biome I have failed so many times to read the name of, so I'm gonna bypass on that. Now wherever you enter the biome, you will have a name in a corner, and if it's some kind of a unique difference in this biome to what it normally is, it will tell you on a corner as well. So I'm gonna head to this, and you can see rocky walls. So that means that on the outside of a biome, while you would normally have a gaps going through, like we had in the first village, you see the gaps going into wherever they go. Now we got the rocks instead, going upwards instead. So instead of having a clear view, you actually have a blocked view, and as you can see, you can hide behind them, but you're not staying hidden. Everything that would like to attack you will still find you and attack you. Thing is about it is that some of the creature, like this one, can actually hide themselves as well, and you may not notice them until you come too close, and they will start attacking you. So without making it last any longer, collect the wood that we are required to. And now there's a difference which trees you're gonna cut. Some of them will give you an apple, like this one, while the white ones will not give you an apples, if I remember correctly. I might cut it out, but like you see, it's just a wood. So I'm happy to get some apples. That's quite plenty of them to get my hunger up. So I'm gonna eat my full belly of apples. But luckily you don't get any side effect of being drunk or anything from them. It's just nice and healthy eating way to satisfy your hunger. Right, we needed 50 wood, so we got 21, that's not enough. Now you remember you could have used Golem to cut the trees, and you can see the little thing over his head. That actually means he's leveling up. So I'm gonna increase his health. He's got a really low amount of health. And that's gonna get killed very quickly. But wait, if I ask him to cut the tree for me, he's not gonna do that. Unfortunately, dirt golems are pretty much limited creatures. They'll fight for you, but they won't deal much damage, so that puts them as in a high risk of getting killed very easily. Oh shh, that's a thing I wanted to avoid. Wait, let's get sword. And I'm off not to a good start, as you can see, my creature already died. And, right, another thing is, wherever you got rocks laying around, those creatures will gather around from close distance and they'll come over and eat it. So something like that, which is priceless, don't let it stay on the ground. They'll just come over and munch on it. It's a big difference if you actually drop it off by yourself after you picked it up, because that's being treated as you attempting to tame a creature, rather than just getting rid of it from your inventory. But if I cut something down, I just leave it laying around and the creature eats it, they don't get tamed. So that's a bit of a difference. Now, I lost my only friend, so it would be nice to tame something instead, which I will actually attempt to, especially that I've got those living stones. But before, I do want to find a low-level stone golem. Now, the reason why do I want to fetch a low level is because they're much easier to tame than a higher level. Level 0, that's perfect. So let's see, I'm gonna drop a couple rocks just nearby him, and he's gonna eat on it. And I tell you for a fact, you see 20% just for one rock he ate. That's a huge percentage. Now if I get that living stone, I'm gonna throw one out there. You will see it's gonna jump a much higher percentage, 50%. So I need 2 more of these to tame that one. Each of them give me a 20%. I don't want any other of those rock golems eating it, so I'm just gonna drop one at a time. And there we go, stone golem is ours. So that's a good replacement. It's actually a really good replacement for the beginning of a game. That creature could not fight and got killed by one of those. And this creature not only can fight a bit, it also can be used as a mobile workbench. So you can actually create stuff on the go. Let's say I can create traps from wood, I got it. Now, I'm gonna carry on with that quest, but I'm gonna move some of the items over. And whenever I move them in his inventory, make sure you, if you want to keep those items, you stay out from the things that he considers as food. If you move his food into his inventory, he will eat it all. Let's say I'm gonna throw rocks. Just before I'm gonna throw it, I'll let you see. You see, slingshot, he's got 6 amount in the ammo. That's because of the rocks. Amount of rocks is the ammo for the slingshot. So if I use a slingshot now, we'll fire the rock. So I'm gonna throw the rocks into his inventory. He's gonna eat them all. I'm gonna throw living stones too, because I don't need them. And I'm more than happy for my creature to eat it. And one of the things it does, once they fall on the hunger, they will drop the rocks and the living stone themselves. So I can actually farm living stones, all of them. Now, as an inventory basic thing, I'm gonna drop the items I'm not gonna be using at the moment. Slingshot definitely not use, pistol and ammo not gonna be using, it just takes up my space. So I'm in need of 6 more wood. Alright, and we got a stone golem, so we actually can cut down the resources for us. So it's another big upgrade from the dirt golem we created, which could only pull the trolley and that's the whole usage of it. While this one can do a bit more, can get us his resources and help us around, can fight for us. He will die, he won't die that easily though. Now, the next steps after collecting 50 wood is gathering some herbs, which might not sound like make sense at the moment, but will later on. So let's just gather what it asks us for. Now, berries. I don't see any berries, and I don't see any mark showing me where to fetch them, so I'm just gonna run a little. And if it finds a bush, there you go, found a bush. It will show me with exclamation mark where to fetch the berries from. So we collected all of the stuff, and now he's asking us to go back to town to create a card. I can bypass it now because I got a stone golem, which normally you would not have, and I can create a card from here. Now, what the card requires is wood and a wooden wheel. We don't have a wooden wheel, so we have to create those two first, and it requires 2 of them, so click twice. Now, regarding the creating things, if you start creating something and you jump onto another thing, even though you got an input there and stuff already there, and you wanted to create something else, because you moved into looking for some other stuff you want to create, it actually thinks that's what you want to create, so stay on a thing you want to make until you finish making all of those, or at least last item starts being created, and then start going around for the other things. Now, move items out of your inventory, the inventory of the workbench, in this case stone golem, and the output. If I press just there, it's gonna move the wheels in here and the wood from there. There's no wood in here, so it's not gonna move it from that one. In here and start building. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna rename my stone golem into mobile workbench. Because that's what it's gonna be used for. And now whenever I looked at it, I know, alright, that's my mobile workbench. Now in its inventory, which I'm already in, I can see it's got upgrade points, and on the creature itself, the level number got into a little bit yellow orangish. Whenever that happens, that means the creature's got some upgrade points to be spent. What I'm gonna aim for is still the HP, and that's what I'm gonna do with every creature I manage to get my hands on. As you can see, we built the card in this inventory and left it up, and the quest got completed. Now it asks us to continue with another thing, and I'm actually gonna place the card and get my creature to pull it for me. Now hint to a card, that's just explanation of things we did in the tutorial. You will get random hints like that, which are very helpful, especially first time you play through. If you don't open them up, they will disappear. Keep that in mind. So if you don't open them up for a while and continue your play, they will just disappear. Obviously the next hint will, of something new just hit upon, will show up as well. Now, if I go on the map, I know my village is on the top right edge, so that's where I'm heading now. And also the explanation mark tells me to go there too. Now, if you see, we reached the edge of a map, but we're not in the part that allows us to make the jump. So we have to go further out just till we reach those kind of a mesh thing that will allow us to make a jump, and then the jump button will appear. Now regarding moving your creatures around, as long as they are marked to follow you, let's say that one's marked to stand there. If I want to make a jump, he will not go on to next map with me. Oh, that's quite random. Hello, Stone Golem. What the hell are you doing here? Hello. That still happens in the demo version. Perhaps in the future updates that won't happen. But it's fun to see them once in a while. Right, going back to what I was saying. The creature that are not marked to follow you, they will stay into the chunk you left them in. So now if I were to transfer somewhere, this stone golem with a cat will actually stay in here. But because we're gonna actually press Q to tell him what to do and tell him to follow me, now wherever I'm gonna jump through one area to another, this golem will actually go with me. And that's the way it works. Simple as that. It will allow you to save going with 20 or more creatures that you don't intend to drag behind yourself. So, right, let's carry on with the quest. So normally my quest will tell you to go back in here, go to this workbench, create 2 wheels, and create a wooden cat. You finish, lift it up, throw it in inventory. I do recommend building it up if you plan to use it. If you don't plan to use it, you might as well go over here and sell it to one of those vendors. Make a bit of money. Now the craft healing station. Right click on that and create the item the quest requires you to. Now this will allow you to heal up a little. So there is a usage for it, although I'm never using it. So I might actually leave it for demonstration purposes, but normally I would just get rid of it. Now as you've seen, I had to replace the golem with my walking mobile workbench because my golem died. And I do want something to drag the trolley around and not myself. Alright, that's all finished. Now we're gonna talk to figures again. So you want us to have a defender. We already have a defender. That's reasonably good defender. It could have been much better if we were to upgrade it further out, which we will do later on. Now, he wants us to get a hedgehog. Hedgehogs are not bad. They're actually good starting creatures, which you get through the tutorial. It'll tell us, it will show you actually how to tame the creatures as well. So once we go through that tutorial, it will ask us to create the 2 wooden traps. Now we can create them on as we knew that they're already in there. We can loot them instead, and that's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna be making them. We're just gonna loot it. But if you would like to make them, I will show you how to get it done. You will have to just go to this workbench, right click on it, and then down here. And that requires sticks, which we had from that trolley there, and wood, which we already gathered through our exploration. So because I already looted the traps, I don't need to make them. Obviously my mobile workbench could make them as well. So let's say I'm gonna make 2 of them, just in case I require any more. Now, when we went to cut down, we get some apples, and the apples are actually the food that is required to tame a hedgehog. So let's see, apparently that's where the game thinks the hedgehogs are, and it thinks they're nowhere around, or at least that's the closest area where you can fetch the hedgehogs. So that's where we're gonna go. And now the first thing I wanna do whenever I jump into a new area is to look at the name of the area. If it says forest or something else, that's fine, but if you got a line and something after, you might want to be careful about it. And there is a reason behind it, because there could be a minefield, which is deadly if you just run into and will kill a lot of your creatures. It can be a spider nest, and there will be a lot of spiders, which makes the game a bit more difficult. It can be an ant nest, and there will be a lot of ants around the area, which will make the game a bit more difficult as well. So it might be really worth to pay attention to this thing. Like we had the other area called Rocky Edges or whatever it was, and as you can see, the normally standardly got this open area, and wherever you got gap, you got that open gap in there in the middle. If you got rocky edges, it just got rocks all over the edges instead of those gaps. So that's the only difference. At least that's the only difference I managed to notice. Now let's head into it and see whether we can find the hedgehog. Now that's one of the hedgehogs they kind of would like us to fetch. You do not have to fetch that one, that hedgehog. Now to tame the hedgehog you need to give him food like we did with that creature. Why do we need the traps for them? Well, if we use a trap we will stop the creature from wandering all around the area, which makes it easier to actually tame it. Alright, you've seen those 3 foxes running there. We don't wanna be part of their food, so I kind of rather get a bit far away. And let's see if we can find another hedgehog rather than that one there. No, we managed to find another wolf, so well, let's kill it. Will give us some food, and I think we should be able to kill it, and will give us some XP as well. There we go. And we got some XP, our creature got some XP. I want to kill a couple of those wolves because there, as we see, there was quite plenty of them. Usually there's like 1 or 2, but now we got a lot of them, and they actually ruining our quest too, because they're killing the creatures we're supposed to tame. And I cannot catch up to them. I don't want to catch up to them too close. There we go, I only want to pull one at a time. Because I don't want to risk dying or getting munched on by them. It's quite plenty of wolves here, like I said. Normally it's much less of them. It's the first time I've actually seen so many wolves in one place. And I'm not prepped to fight the whole wolf pack, but I'm prepped to fight with 1 of them or 2. There we go, a bit more meat. Now with the meat, we can use it to tame the other creatures. Obviously we can tame the wolves, but that's another thing. You got 3 types of creatures. If you right click, you can see some of them are neutral. Some of them will be actual passive, and some of them will be aggressive by default. Wolves are actually aggressive creatures, and they will attack you whenever they see you, whenever you get too close. Passive creatures, they will attack you if you fetch their food, or if you attack them, or if you stand too close to their proximity and they get uncomfortable with you. Like, he might run past us, and you see he's not attacking, but let's say we run close as that to a wolf and it will straight arg on us. Now if you want to tame a wolf, that means you have to stay out of his argo area, or of his, like, a radar, and hope for him to eat the food you throw on the ground. It might be really worth to use a trap. It's actually great to use the traps for those kind of purposes, because it might be even difficult to feed the first chunk of meat to that wolf, because he might not be interested in doing that. Now we came here for the hedgehog, so let's see what level this one is. 69. That's a bit high. I do fancy low level creatures because they are easy to level up, but what's the most easy part about them is actually taming them. It requires much less resources to tame a low level creature than high level creature. Now let's see, 4 meters. So that's 84. So you don't want that one. Luckily for the quest, you don't actually have to tame the one the explanation marks tells you to. You can just fetch any hedgehog, as long as you tame it. That's the target of your quest. So we're gonna have a look around a little. We've seen a couple hedgehogs around. Level 69. I did not see any more. I think they've been eaten by the wolves before we managed to clear the wolves out. So that's a bit of a bunk, as I say. I would rather to have a much lower level creature and not be bothered to waste a lot of time and resources on trying to get it. Oh, there we go, another hedgehog. It's not scary. 66. 60 plus, that's the only level we managed to find. So, well, we're gonna go with that one. I lost the sight of him. That's where he is. So, we're gonna set up a trap over here, and now we're gonna throw some food into it. And take a step back, because they get really scared of. You can see the circle. If you go into that circle, that only shows up when you start taming the creature. But if you go into that circle, they'll immediately panic and run away. Now, I'm not sure if he sees our food because it's quite away, so we might want to collect it and throw it again. Yeah, we've seen that food, and we're gonna take a step back. Now, if it gets trapped, that's good. You see the scary meter is much lower. It could cool down, but now what I can do is stand on the outside and I can throw the food inside and make sure he eats it then. On the top you can see that it's trapped. You can see how much time it's gonna be in this condition. The trapped creature can be killed, so it doesn't help it if you actually manage to trap it and the wolf comes over and kills it. That's it. It's just dead. And then if the trap had been triggered, now let's say I'm gonna set another trap here. If that trap had not been used, I can right click and collect it in the state of a trap. But if it's been used, like in this scenario, and I right click, I only get a part of resources back out of it. So we required 3 sticks and a couple chunks of wood. I don't remember, let's have a look. 5 pieces of wood and 3 sticks. We only got 1 piece of wood and 3 sticks back. So that's the difference. When you get used there, when you use the trap, and something goes into the trap and gets stuck in it, it will actually, you will not recover the whole trap back anymore. You will recover partial amount of resources. That's why I'm kind of avoiding creating iron traps. They're much better, they hold the creatures for much longer, but once you trigger them, you only get a partial refund of what you used to create it. So that's a bit of a downside on it. But there are some creatures you can't really catch in this trap. They will just walk over it. And they will trigger the trap, but they will not get stuck in it. So I wonder if those creatures could be tamed or catch in this iron trap instead. I had not tried that yet. The creatures I definitely can tell they're not getting stuck in this wooden trap. In those biomes out there which are locked out, but they're in a lava zone. And there are 2 creatures, one of them of which I will be attempting to catch later on because he's a really good creature. He's got a lot of HP. It's a kind of tanky creature too, so it's good for the minefields. And it's got a massive inventory slot, much bigger than a cat. And it can carry a lot of stuff. And like I said, he's got a lot of HP. So I'm rather using that instead of a cat. Now, speaking of a cat, you can see it's got 1 wheel on each side and some capacity. The amount of it is always the same, I believe, as the upper limit. But now what you would like to know is I can dump things in there. I don't have to worry about it because at this level of a card, no creature can actually pick up out of it. While on the other level of a card, they actually can ransack from the item. So let's say I think starting from the steel level is when creatures can eat out of it, and it actually drags the things out of her. So we're gonna improve the cart a little bit. We need 18 wood, so I'm gonna buy more resources just to improve our cart before we carry on with our malwares and great tutorial. building materials that would be there. So we needed 12 wood, I think. So let's buy that and let's see our card inventory upgrade. So yes, that's what we needed. Now we click on that and that will upgrade our card. As you can see, the way it looks, it's different now. It's got 2 wheels instead of 1. That hadn't refreshed yet. It will refresh when we jump between the maps. Now the next level of an upgrade, let's see, it would be 20 wood and 20 iron bar. I wonder if we can afford it. So we had get 20 wood and now iron bar. Now the iron bar would be actually in a blacksmith shop. Right, so we cannot afford. I think we had something for sale, didn't we? He's got some money and the trader's good got updated, so he should have some sort of money. We can sell stuff, so let's attempt to sell some ammo and a gun and a slingshot. And see if we can get enough money for the 20 iron. So slingshot sold, the gun sold, and the ammo let's attempt to sell as much as we can. So that's more than he has, so that's not gonna work. 956, there we go, 41. Now we taking the money he has in and we're gonna buy the iron bar, 20 of them, just to upgrade our card. Now our column likes to get stuck, I see, so we're gonna move around to make him unstuck. And inventory upgrade, let's throw and upgrade it. There you go. Now let's double check. That's still there, which means our living golem hadn't pinched anything. Or had he? Oh yeah, he did, look. He's already pinching from our trolley. So if I throw more of them, I've got 2 of her, I'm gonna take it out. He's just gonna pinch it out of the trolley. So they do start pinching it out of this level of a trolley. Through this level of a trolley, it doesn't let it actually collect stuff from the ground yet. So you got certain upgrades. Obviously each upgrade increases the amount of places or the slots you can use. First level had it there, second level there, third level there. Next level will have it there, and then level after will have it down here. Now what we need for the next level, still ignore, so we definitely don't have money for that. But that would allow this trolley to actually pick up stuff itself. Now we gathered the hedgehog, just like our tutorial guy wanted us to. And I want to show you something, hopefully. Oh right, he was just next to us. Come over here. With this quest, not only you get the hedgehog, but if we go into inventory, you got evolutions, and you can see there's an evolution for the hedgehog, which requires 25. Still ignore. That's a bit expensive upgrade at the moment, so definitely will not be able to afford it. However, he's gonna make it free for us. A little bit of steel, and your hedgehog is evolving now. So as you can see, he actually triggered the evolution for our hedgehog. And we continue with the quest. That's the second creature we receive or get upgraded free of charge thanks to him. Obviously we get a level up point, so we're gonna use that. Take the goods and in the boxes and load them onto the cart. Then go north and sell everything. So they actually ask us for the continuing of the quest, which I spoken about before. When you go on the map, it actually wants us to, it says north. North would be that way in the map, and as east, so north, south, east, west. That's how it goes. So it's always somewhere in the north. That village. It might be here. I've seen it down there. I've seen it there. I've seen it somewhere around these edges. So it's not always in that corner. It is in this world. So let's attempt to take stuff. As you can see, we can take it within ourselves, but it's quite heavy. So we're gonna be walking much slower, and that's the reason why the game asks us to throw it into the cart. Obviously you could bypass it. Stop dragging our creatures, you little human. Annoying humans. Right, we're gonna go into the inventory and transfer those over, because that way we're not getting slow down heavy capacity penalty, and a trolley is not gonna get it anytime soon. I mean, nearly 10,000 capacity, so I never reached 1,000 something yet, so that's really hard to breach. If you manage to, congratulations. Now we're taking those things out and throw it there. Now this is gonna get completed once we transfer them over into the village we're about to head to. So without making it any more complex, we got those two following us. We're gonna go in there and let's see what's the easiest path we could take. Now we can go there into Japan zone and then transfer through those caves. But I know caves are quite a bit more dangerous than the actual forest, so I'd rather to stay in a forest inside of a cave. Now the redwood biome is usually having ants in them quite often, so I'm not gonna plan to go that far, and that will be an excess of a journey, so we're gonna try to go this way instead. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's more worth to go there and then just transfer that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I didn't count correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't make a difference. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna avoid this cave biomes this time. We might have to go back through, because through this village, whenever you enter, the only exit is north or west. That's the only exits you can use for some reason. You can't go back those directions. But let's get out and we're gonna pay attention to what's the extra name in our game map. Like, see here, rocky walls. That's what I told you before. It shows you that all the gaps that were before in the normal map are actually filled with rocks this time. We're just gonna fly through the territories. We don't really have any reason to stop by or do anything in here. So we're just gonna go further out. Now, I didn't notice before I made the jump that our hedgehog can have an upgrade. It's quite high level now and it could use some skill points assignment. So let's do that while we're here and while nothing is attacking us. And I'm gonna add up more HP. That's, like I said before, that's something I'm really worried about. Like creatures getting killed rather than being able to attack. So we're gonna just run quickly past it in the direction we intend to go. And one other thing is I wanna say, if your creatures are marked to follow you and they get stuck somewhere on the way, you don't have to worry about it. You can just reach the end and jump. As you can see, they're nowhere around. My trolley is nowhere around and rock columns got stuck somewhere in the back. But will still get transferred to me. Now, right. I got in a panic a little. This sign is your clear indicator that there's a minefield over here. And I didn't want to walk over the mine. As you can see, there's one there, one there, one there. There'll be a couple more around. Now, if you look on the name, it says forest, and then you got an extra add-on saying minefield. That's another way you can tell whenever there's something going on within the biome. And now I got an option of going from there. Oh, just heard an explosion, so something going off. The minefields are a bit dangerous for your creatures, like you just seen. They run right through the middle of the mine. They don't pay attention to the mines, they're just running through them and getting themselves killed. Now, they're reasonably worth to explore, especially if you kind of not really into fighting creatures, but there are a couple of food creatures you wanna get, like let's say a couple rabbits and stuff. when they run through the minefield, they get killed, and you can just grab the corpse and have a meat out of it. So that's a good thing about a minefield. The negative thing about a minefield is that your creatures will run through those mines quite often, and there's a high chance they will die. Also, your trolley do get damage over the mines. So that's why I told the creatures to stay here while I had a quick look around what's going on. We could see the hedgehogs died over here, so we can get the meat out of it. But I'm not gonna go any further out into it. I actually gonna avoid this zone, so I'm gonna mark the creatures to follow me. And we're gonna go this way, which is a bit up, then around, and that way. If that's a minefield, then we'll attempt to go through this zone as close to the edge to just go to that zone there. Actually, we will actually attempt to do that there, especially that our golem is stuck for some reason. So that makes it a lot easier. We don't have to focus on two creatures, not getting into any of the mines, assuming we can see them. That scared me. Okay. Sorry, that scared me too. That was me that triggered the mine now. You can see my HP got lower. We're actually gonna use the healing cream this time to heal up a bit. And carry on with the process. So perhaps there is a good usage of that. Golem is following us, it's just stuck. So we don't have to worry about him at the moment. That's actually a really good bonus for us. Because we don't have to worry about it going into the minefield. Now since we reached the end, I'm just gonna double make sure I'm gonna press Q. They all in a group 1, I'm having group 1, so please follow me. And we jump over. I could have told them to stay there, walk all this way, and then tell them to follow me before making a jump. It would still work. As you can see, my mobile workbench is right next to me. Now I can hear the wolf, and I've seen the wolf attacking some creatures. That will definitely come over to us. So it's eating the penguins, and now it's on to us. And we're gonna kill it. And cut it out into meat pieces. And we got more meat. Now I want to drop it into the cart. Because I don't have I know our cart can be picked from now. So if I throw the apples, he will have some. As you can see, they're disappearing already. Hedgehog will have them. That's why they disappear. We're actually gonna eat some too, because we're getting our hunger decreased. So we're gonna get our hunger full. Wood over, leather over, bones over. We're gonna sell it once we get to the other town, so we can transfer all. We don't need it in our inventory. We don't need that either, but I want to keep it. Okay, it's fine. Transfer it over. So we carry as little as possible. Now, we could get more meat out of those penguins that died, but I'm not interested in it. We're only one chunk away from the village, so let's just run towards the village. And there we go. So that's pretty much getting to that cold village, or winter village, which is easy, very easy, and well, we might get stuck a little bit on the entry. Nothing to worry, and let's head out. Now, take the goods to another village. We're taking it out of the box, and we have to deliver it to the box. As you can see, my golem got stuck. It's a bit silly because I think it got stuck on a food he actually created. No, it got stuck for another completely different reason. So I'm gonna tell him to drop off moving the trolley, and I'm actually gonna drag the trolley by myself because I do need the trolley to get over there, or at least I need to move items from the trolley to this place, and that's gonna make it much easier. Now I'm gonna stand right next to the place where I can reach it, right click on the inventory and transfer over what I gotta transfer to that box, which is 50 of living stone. And I'm really lucky my golem hadn't actually eaten any, because I would be lacking them. I forgot to do that. or actually pay attention to it. I should be a bit more aware. Gold ore, a drink, and that's what I meant. So it seems like our golem, I think, ate a bit of iron. So we're missing a cup of iron. Which means we need to kind of replenish that. And let's see, first step I'm gonna check the inventory of our golem. And you can see it's already 8 cup of the iron. Ah, right, the maximum stock is 150. Not 100. So let's hope we can get iron ore from them. We're missing 3 of them. So we're gonna have to buy them to complete the quest. Or we could go into the perhaps caves and mine it ourselves. But it's something I don't want to deal with now. So we're gonna transfer over require items. All been transferred, quest completed. Now we gotta update the quest to talk to that guy here. So let's have a chat. Right, we've been given money for the items we delivered. Now we gotta be careful not to spend this money. And I'm gonna transfer it to the trolley. I feel quite safe with it. Stop dragging, get our mobile workbench to drag it for us. And let's go back. Now, we delivered stuff to the village. We gotta deliver the payment back to our village. No need to take it for granted. We will get a big cut out of it. So it's not like we done all of that for nothing. And like I said, whenever you enter this village, you cannot leave from the right or from the top. You can only leave from a bottom. Sorry, from a bottom one or the right. You can leave only from the left or the top. So I think actually it'll be better for us to go from the top, because we can go there, 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 and come back the way we came in. I thought there was a minefield on the way, but we should be fine. Or we can go there, there, and then straight down home, rather than going a bit around. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. I want to avoid those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I want to avoid this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's the reason I was saying, if we were to go shortest way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, still 7, so I'm just gonna go with safe way, which I know I can live by going through. And now I'm just gonna run to the top right edge. Now I know this creature is not gonna attack me, which is fine. The dragonflies will attack me though. And that's that flying creature, and that flying creature there that just got on fire. Right, I've been talking for a little while. Let me have a bit of a drink. Ah, I feel so much better. Right, so we move to the next zone. Right, the game does not pause. Be careful about it, because you can still get attacked while you look through the stuff. So we moved there. Now, my target was to go there, but I think I'm actually gonna go one up and then just carry on downwards instead. That will let me avoid the minefield straight away without getting to worry about my creatures going through the minefield. Oh no. Right, this is aggressive creature, and the snowman, surprisingly, is aggressive creature too, and that's a ranked creature. I mean, you can shoot. But there we go. I managed to kill it. I don't want to get infighted with that, because that's one of the creatures I intend to collect, somehow tame, I didn't manage to get it in anyway so far. I will try to find a way to tame it in the future. If I manage to, I'll definitely share it. You can definitely tame those two creatures. That's a very easy to tame creature. You just gotta mine some ice and drop it around, let it eat, and it's all yours. And we got stuck again over there. No, I'm gonna ignore him for a moment. He still follows me up, so he will calm down. Well, transfer over into the next biome with me. But the issue is, if I don't tell him to come back, he'll just run down there. Right. Let's say that was our AF golem, third golem, who be long dead. He would not survive this. So I'm happy I got my mobile workbench. Now, that's a funny thing. You cannot attack it unless you got a range weapon. Well, he can attack you because that's got a range weapon by throwing a snowballs at you. So it's a funny thing he's got stuck there because you won't be able even to gather any details of it. Now, a wolf is not something I want to hit on, but I think I'll have to. Oh well, we're just gonna kill it then. And gather meat out of it. Couple skill points. I know my creature's leveled up a bit, so maybe it would be worth actually to give him a bit more health. And there we go, we get attacked by the snowman. And the second snowman too. But I get attacked by everything that's aggressive. I don't really like that. Right, there's a wolf, let's keep that. Come on, let's go. I don't know what that was. And there's a little tiny square we can jump to. Another area. Happy days. Oh, and it's a minefield. No, come back, come back, come back! Come back, stupid creatures. Ah, what a bunkers. I did not expect that to be another minefield here. I'm not happy about it. I thought we're gonna go this way to avoid this minefield, while this place got minefield too. Let's try to go back somehow. No. Right. This one got frozen. Can we undo it? No. We tell it to follow us. Will that change it? Yes, it will. Now, I'm gonna try to avoid any mines I can possibly do. But it doesn't mean my creatures won't just run into the mine just outside of a path I've been taken. So you can see they like to go just on the edge of my sanity. Right. Which way can I go not to get killed? That looks reasonable safe. No, I don't see what's under the tree, behind the tree, unless I get close enough, so I want to avoid that. That was an aim miss, and just about the edge, just about the end, we managed to get through. Right, we're nearly getting to the village. One more, I think it's in one more biome. Let's see. There, yes, one more. And there we go. That looks safe and sound. There might be a couple wolves though, so we might want to be looking out for those. But other than that, no surprise minefields and stuff, so happy days. There we go, we're back into our main village. And that's actually still part of a tutorial quest going back over here. And oh, we gotta always drop it down in here. Right, we left it into the cart. So we take out of the wooden cart the money. and drop it into the village money. Now, as you can see, I got 68 cash. I'm gonna transfer everything I can into the trolley, and we'll see what kind of a reward we're gonna get out of the for completing the tutorial. Oh, you did it. Yes, we did. Yeah. Now we get a redwood golem, which is upgraded version of a third golem. I'm not so familiar with it. I had not been using it, so I don't know if we can actually do anything extra than the third golem. It's something to find out. I think it might feed out of wood. Let's have a look. Right, it's down here. Yeah, it can feed off wood, so any wood we had in a trolley, it's just got transferred to his belly. Let's see, inventory. Oh, we don't have any wood. So perhaps he's already eat his belly full. Let's have a look. Right, let's see. He's got a bit of sanity going, so perhaps he ate all the wood we had, or we didn't have any wood. But saying that, we get a wooden golem and a 10k of in-game cash for the quest, which is great. There's more task on the board, and that's actually the way you finish if you skip the tutorial. You do not get any of these. You just get sent out to this board, to this quest board. So you get a bit of an extra by doing tutorial. Obviously you don't get a mobile workbench like I did, because I had to tame it myself, but it's very easy to tame it yourself, and it's extremely easy. And I will be showing that in the next video, how to tame certain creatures. And the easiest way to go around it, or at least the easiest way I can think of going around it. And that's pretty much it for the first walkthrough the Delares game. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be finishing pretty much now. Let's just have a look what the quests offer. What the quest board got. We got a resource of the lavender biome. So we're gonna get that's as a reward, and that's an XP. That's an in-game cash and XP. In-game cash, XP. In-game cash. That looks like an ammo. I think that's a chest item or something else. I'm not sure, because it says 10 to 15, so that's not an actual chest. It's some sort of item. I'm not aware what it is. And then you got quite a lot of XP. It tells us to kill creatures of the lavender biome. Right, that's nice. Just to say, the lavender biome and the Japan biome is not always available in every world generated world. I had a world gen which didn't have the Japan biome. I had a world gen which didn't have the lavender biome. I think I had a world gen which did not have this biome either. So there are different things that will happen in your world which will be included and which will be excluded. So if you don't mind those two minefields, I would highly recommend trying this test 1 to 3 as a world gen code. See if you end up having exactly the same word, perhaps a bit different. I did try it twice and it pretty much ended up being the same. I didn't walk all the way around and I hadn't completed the quest, which I just did. So I had no idea there are 2 minefields over here. A bit unpleasant surprise, especially when you don't expect it. And I know that there was one player on the Discord who was really complaining about having the minefield in one of the first 4 maps, which did happen to me once. And actually I thought of that more as a feature, as an extra difficulty feature rather than pain in the ass thing. And you can distinguish the minefield, the mines on the minefield. Now, the minefield doesn't have to be just on a green area. They can be on a desert, it could be on a winter, and the mines will look a bit differently. They will look also the same thing as a little dot in the middle and a hill around it. However, the color of that hill will be more adjusted to the biome you'll find them in. I just hope there's no minefield in that no minefield in this and no minefield in that. And if there is a minefield, perhaps it will be better to get another word generated. But that's it for now. I hope you liked the game so far, or at least the experience I shown you of a playthrough. There's just a couple quests to get you started. Obviously you can skip them if you more than like me to skip them if you would like. In that case, I still suggest to get some sort of money or farm couple items, come over here, sell it to get a better pickaxe, better axe. Like I got 10k now, I definitely will go for a new pickaxe like that one. And sorry, pickaxe and axe. So I'm gonna be selling the axe. And I'm gonna get that axe. For the fact I've been using this so many times, I know it's a really good one. Then I'm gonna be selling the pickaxe because I'm gonna go for a better pickaxe, which is exactly same material, which I don't even know where to get from. But I'm definitely happy, there we go, to go for this pickaxe. And it is well worth money. Now if I look at it, this sell I got 10k. So if I got anything else I would like to get rid of or sell, I can go ahead and do that while he's got the money. So a bit of a sell the items you don't need, buy the items you need, or buy the items you need, then sell the items you don't need. Like the ammo, I don't need the ammo. And there we go, I made a tiny bit of money back. Do I need the traps? I might need the traps, but not at the moment, so made a little bit more money again. Unfortunately, whatever he earns does not share with him, so if you got things to sell to this guy, well, he's out of cash. You won't be able to sell him anything, unfortunately, unless you buy something else instead. Or you wait for refreshment of their stock, for them to restock. That's when they get more money again. I don't know how long it takes, so perhaps we can test it out and have a look. That's pretty much it. One more thing I will say before we quit, regarding the saving of the games. Whenever you want to save the game, you gotta press escape and go to main menu. Until that happens in this version of the game, whatever you do, it's not being saved. And that's quite annoying, because you go to main menu and will save your game as well. And then if you want to continue the game, you're just gonna press continue and load latest save. Now there's a way to manually save that from within an F1 console. So let's say I wanna save the game differently. I'm gonna press F1. Let's clear this mess out. You don't need to clear it, yeah, but I just wanna have it nice and tidy. So I'm gonna use a save game command and press tab to automatically fill that space and name, and you're gonna give a name to the save. Now, whatever you pick, make sure that when you load the game, you're actually gonna type in exactly the same thing. So let's say that was test 1, 2, 3. That was the word gen I used for this word. So I'm gonna save the game as that. Now, if you notice, I'm standing in the middle over here when I saved it. So I'm saving. Now this is, there we go, the game saved. Now this did not kick me out the main menu, which is why I like to use this function. The only difference is when you load it up, you gotta use a command actually to use it, to load the game. So you would have thought you can just automatically load the game, load save, that's what the command is, and type in test 1, 2, 3. It will work. The issue is, in the current build, to do that, you gotta actually go to main menu. Now to close this console, you gotta press F1 again to open it and close. That's how you close it. So if you wanna load up that save I just did, I'll have to go to main menu and load it to have a multiple saves. for multiple games rather than have just one save available. This saving system is meant to be reworked as far as I'm aware, or at least, well, we might have forgot to mention about it. So it might be worth for you to jump in here, download the demo, go on Discord and say, look, developer, could we have a better loading system where we can, and saving system for the game, where you press escape and we press save game and we can choose the name of the game we want to save it as, or when we go back to the game we go load instead of continue and we can choose the game we want to load up from. But like I said, when you're in the main menu you can use a console as well, so you can press F1, type and load the game. Actually, sorry, load the save. And name of the save. Because I played before, I used that before and I got the different saves as well. So I'm gonna show you the ones we just created, which is test 1, 2, 3. And remember, the capital letters do matter, so if you use a capital letter somewhere in the middle, play the same way. And there we go, we're over here. Well, if we were to load up the latest game, we would have been out there. Well, because we exit to the main menu, the latest save got saved with us being over here. But if I go over there now, and I load it up, and I exit, the latest save will be there, while test 1 to 3 will be out there. Now, if I don't want to attempt to do it now, I do it later. It's one of the things when you load it with a console, before you can click on things and use a keyboard shortcuts, you gotta click once to activate the game, like. So I'm gonna head out to main menu again. I'm gonna load up different save just to show you and play. You can literally play multiple games using that way of loading and saving. So let's say I got a different save. So I'm gonna load save, and this one is actually called NEV, and I got 3 saves from 1 to 3. So let's gonna load the third one. There you go, the game got loaded. And so you can see I got a couple of different creatures over here tamed. I still got mobile workbench, because that's just my way of playing. I do use a mobile workbench to do a couple things for me, and that's pretty much mobile workbench for me everywhere. And it keeps making traps for me to gather more creatures. I managed to get a scarecrow from this biome there. As you can see, there's a different ward gen code, and I actually I've been through all the biomes already to undiscover all the squares, if I can call them that way, and that's where the planet 4 is in this biome. But as you can see, there is no lavender biome on that one. There is this biome and Japan biome, but there is no lavender biome on this game anywhere, and there won't be. So I think those 2 and the lavender biome are like an extra biomes that can be included or can be not included within your ward gen. So I highly recommend, wherever you decide to create a new ward gen, to make sure those 2 and the lavender biome is present on your ward generated thing. I think that's a mandatory thing. That's always there. That's definitely always there. That's always there, and that's always somewhere, I think. But those 2 and lavender biome, there might be in, there might not be in. So it might be worth making sure they're there. Now another thing is, I would like to let you know, whenever you look at the chunk, it will show you a bit of description about, and if you hold Alt, it will show you a bigger description. There's another thing, if you got creatures inside the area, like let's say this one's got spiders, this one's got nothing extra, teleport stone, so that's got a teleport stone somewhere in the middle of a chunk, which you can use to teleport freely. Rocky walls, So it tells you that's work rules, and now this chunk there, or this middle one, this one, creatures in a chunk. Creatures in a chunk stands for all your tamed creatures that you well, that you actually tamed somewhere and you left them within that zone. So I got a lot of stone golems and the bee on that one, and I got all the creatures there, and I got different creatures over here which are actually following me around, and it's too big to display. But I got two lava turtles, two lava or magma turtles, one Japan fox, one big spider, and one scarecrow. And that's the save I'm actually gonna give up on. Not because I failed something or anything, it's because I don't have a lavender biome in it, and I hadn't been paying attention to it before. So that's why I walked all the way around just to discover every single tile to know whether I'm having those extra biomes or not. And because I don't have it, I will actually start all over. And just to finish off, I'll show you what happens when you attempt to load the game from within the game. That's why I asked you to go to the main menu whenever you want to load the game, because the game crashes. So load, save, let's go back to test. 1, 2, 3. And there we go, that's what I meant. Unexpected error. And that's at this point it's a game over. I can't really do anything about it. I hadn't tried to actually load the game again. I can give it a try to see. Let's see if I can access the command console. No, I cannot access the command console. So F1, it's not working here. So this is pretty much a dead screen for the game. If you hit it, all you can do is hold Alt and F4 or just close the game any other way you can think of. I'm gonna end my video on that part. I hope you liked the game through and a bit of an explanation, a bit of a showing around, and that you will actually join us. After it's not the best screen to recommend, sorry for that, but I really look forward to more people getting involved into the game and joining our community on a Discord. It is a fun game, it is a great game which got a lot of potential, and for it to become a better game, we do need people to get involved, to jump on a Discord and share their ideas about the game, where would they like to see the game going into. And just to let you know, the developer of this game got in touch with every single idea, or at least gotten back to, and give out his thoughts about any and every single idea that's been given on the Discord, that's been given on the Steam as far as I've seen in the comments, in the discussions on the Steam. He got back into everything we spoke about whenever it was required his attention to get back in touch. So big shouts out to the developer. I do think he deserves it. And check out the Kickstarter for Delares and check out the Steam. I'll make sure I leave the links down in the description for the Kickstarter and the Steam. I'm terrible in getting links for the Discord, so I'll leave it down for you to actually go into the Steam, download the demo, and go on the Discord through the demo. Sorry to be so terrible. If I figure it out, you'll see the link down in the description as well. However, I still highly recommend to give it a go, see what your experience with Delares will be like, and give us a feedback. Tell us what would you like to be improved or added on to the Delares. Perhaps some of it already been noticed by the developer. He constantly is improving the game, so we did see couple improvements. We did gave couple suggestions, and it turned out the developer was already working on them. So we did replay and said that that was part of the plan. Some of them were terrible ideas, which I admit to, and they had been declined. And some other ideas were great ideas, and they've been accepted by the developer. So, just join us. Let us join this journey, and hopefully we can make this game much more better without unexpected errors such as this one. And I'm looking forward to seeing you within the community, and obviously seeing another version of this game, which I can't wait to play a next version of it. After it hadn't been long since we got this version and this update, and last time we had any issues with that update, the developer pretty much on the next day sent out the big update, which fixed most of the issues. So that's another thing I like this developer for. So without making the video last any longer, thanks a lot for listening, thanks a lot for watching. Check out the links in the description. I hope to help. And like I say again, don't be afraid to join the community and give your ideas about the game you have. So take care and see you then.